3 down, 3 to go. Now the trip to the South Island continues to the home of Bert Munro, Blue Cod and Bluff Oysters, Teretonga Motorsport Park, Invercargill, Southland. Home of the epic sweeper, the Great Southern Loop, 2.62 kilometres. A fantastic motor racing track with lots of great history, like last year, Barks, Heimgardner, Ross in Class 1, and the battle between McDonald and Herbert in Class 2. And who could forget this moment with Nick Ross? Oh! He's gone! He's lost the wing! Oh, turn it up! Not a great way to go, breaking into that big sweeper for Nick Ross. This year, the man who currently leads the series is Jack Smith. Ironically, he comes back to Teretonga as a rookie after missing out on racing last year.
It's cold, it's wet. We didn't get a run here last year. Our engine blew up in the first session, so it's nice to be back. I feel quite at home at the track. It's of course it's wet, it's slippery, but you know, I'm here to get practice, so we'll take advantage of it. You know, we did a couple of laps here in the dry last year, so I felt pretty at home when I got on the track, and being a short circuit as well, it makes it a bit easier to get used to. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and you know, Nick and Brenton are right up there as well. We had a bit of time over them yesterday, but I'm sure they'll be strong in the races.
And for Chelsea Herbert, the road to Teretonga is also her road to Class 1 via other forms of motor racing.
Making the jump from karting to Sangyong Racing Series, and I raced that for a couple of seasons where MTF picked me up and sponsored me through the Sangyong Series, where I raced against my brother as well. So that was pretty cool to have brother-sister rivalry through that. It's about like car control, yeah, learning how to control yourself around 30 other utes, and also having the opportunity to learn all the tracks around New Zealand. It was, yeah, priceless really. And then from there, I wanted to make the jump to Class 2, and MTF were there to back me for the step up. We definitely had some high points, which were really great and made history multiple times. But yeah, really happy looking back on it, knowing that I was the first ever female to claim pole position and first ever female to win a race and also win the round of a championship. I think it's been really good being in a team environment, which I also haven't been in. Yeah, I think last weekend was the weekend it really clicked and we really gelled together. Previously it sort of felt like the car's driving me, but now I feel like I'm able to really tell the car what I want and it will do that for me. So I think from here on, now we're just finding the last couple of things that we need to fix and to be able to be up with those top guys. So you'll never stop learning, which I absolutely love, and this has been a huge learning curve, so it's made me a better driver.
Coming out of Highlands, it was Jack Smith back in the winner's circle in Class 1. Matt Projetsky took out Class 2, but it's Justin Ashwell that's leading that series. Now we're off down to Teretonga, which marks the halfway point in the BNT V8's.
Well, there are plenty of places to watch the racing at Teretonga. People love to park their motorhomes. We love it down here. They love the V8s. Down there on the front straight, going into the sweeper, across by Castrol, all the petrol heads park up and enjoy the action. But without doubt, one of the best places to watch the racing is right here in the control tower. There's the race officials upstairs. You've got the timing media and our PA commentary team. So we have all the TV action, all the timing action, all the information about the BNT V8s, track map, and of course all the rock and roll music to keep the petrol heads in paradise here at Teretonga. So this is the place to watch the racing over the weekend. So let's go and check out what happened with qualifying.
And the drivers to watch on the wets in the rain at Teretonga. Jack Smith, the series leader, setting the pace once again. Brenton Grove had a few moments. Big rebuild in between rounds, but straight on to the race pace in P2. P3, Nick Ross. Nick has always been quick around Teretonga, but not quite as quick as previous seasons. Lucky to escape a few moments, like most of the drivers in the wet qualifying session. And the drive to keep it alive in Class 2 continued for Matt Projetsky. Took out pole last weekend. Right on target again this weekend at Teretonga. How's this for the lucky ride of the weekend, though? The road to Class 1 ended up being a road to the fastest Camry, right on for a very lucky Chelsea Herbert. But back-to-back poles for Jack Smith in Class 1 and Matt Projetsky in Class 2.
Hey guys, Brad Lathrop here, and welcome along to the latest edition of the Gulf Force 10 Tech Talk. And it's actually what we're going to be talking a little bit about today is hydration for the weekend of racing and some food that you eat. So what we've got here is some lovely little treats. We've got some muffins, some sausage and sausage rolls. I'd love to eat those on the weekend, but I don't. That's actually for the team. They're hard working, so I make sure I feed them and treat them and keep them going throughout the weekend. However, as a driver, I try and look after myself as best I can and make sure I have a high protein and a reasonably high energy. Lots of nuts, cranberries, a banana as often as I can, excessive amounts of water, and little protein bar there just to get me through. The last thing I do to prepare for myself is just make sure we have some hydration to ensure I don't cramp out there. So we'll see you out there.
Brad Lathrop with our Gold Tech Talk. Yes, it's both the drivers and the cars that need the right fuel to go fast. From hydration to horsepower was Jack Smith out in front, followed by Brenton Grove, Nick Ross, Hughes, Herbert Wallace, Lathrop, Tubbs, Pajeski and Ashwell in the battle for Class 2 down the back of the field. But the big talking point about race 1 for the BNT V8's in round 4 at Teretonga was the sudden change in weather from a wet qualifying session to fine and sunny. Perfect conditions for race 1 of the BNT V8's round 4 at Teretonga Motorsport Park. What a great sight as they charge down the longest straight in the country into the iconic sweeper, Andrew Anderson.
Yeah, into the southern loop, and Nick Ross there getting tucked in from the third position. Is he going to hold Brendan Grove on the outside? Oh, it's getting pretty close.
Straight down into the Castrol. It sort of flows lovely around this track, fast track, 2.62 kilometres. As you can see, the cloudy, cool conditions, around about 18 to 24 degrees at the moment. That's the weather range. And now they head towards the back part of the circuit, through the S's, up towards the hairpin, then down the brickyard into the elbow, and they'll do it all again. Great places to pass around here too.
Yeah, great place. And it's a great shot here out the front of the Ultima. Nick Ross right in behind Brendan Grove. We see there just behind Lance Hughes going a little bit defensive. Chelsea Herbert trying to get around, but it's Nick Ross. Now out down the long drag strip here, down the front straight. Got to get good drive. It's going to pay dividends down the end, but already Jack Smith looking like he's going to gap them a little bit here. Brendan Grove on board, under brakes.
Great shot around this fantastic, iconic corner.
Just listen to the throttle work as he on and off the gas. It's a corner that just keeps going. Last weekend they had the southern loop the other way around. This time around it's a left-hand corner. But through into the Castrol here. Brendan looking reasonably stable. He's saying that he's run a little bit wide. Jack Smith did look a little bit tighter on line. Here we are on board Chelsea Herbert.
From Class 2 last year to Class 1, back in the Camry, and going well at this weekend. Oh, there's why Lance Hughes has lost it. Just clipped that corner.
Yeah, whether there was a wet spot there, he just clipped it or just got on the gas a little bit too early. And unfortunately, the Holden stepped out. So that's one spot for Chelsea. She's going to move on up. It'll be interesting to see if she can hook up onto Nick Ross. But here we go, further down the field. Brad Lathrop in the Dale ITM Falcon. Looking very competitive this weekend.
A lot of the drivers have had a lot of major work in between rounds to rebuild their cars after they all had a little bit of damage and mechanical problems, like Justin Ashwell and the team out of Canterbury, doing a lot of work to get the Class 2 Ford Falcon back up with that need for speed.
Yeah, here we go. See him approach this southern loop. It's a corner that you've just got to hang on and just ride it out. And he's right on the inside there, just trying to keep the lead in Class 2.
Pajeski set the time in qualifying, but Ashwell's got the jump on him in the race. So that sets up a great little wee private duel with them as they flow into the S's. Great look at all the local fans in their motorhomes as they flow around the S's into the brickyard. Great part of the circuit here at Teretonga. They love their V8s.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's a great spot to get up on those embankments. And here we see Lance Hughes in the asphalts. Holden coming back through the field after his spin earlier on.
GWD elbow, it's always a good place to try and duck down the inside there and make a pass before they go along this 1K straight, 1,000 metres. It's a great place to wind it up. As Nick Ross found out last year, of course, when he lost that rear wing. But this week it's all about keeping that rear wing firmly with the downforce.
I'm sure the team have gone over that with a fine-tooth comb several times. Nick will be having nightmares about going into turn 1 with no rear wing. But here he is through the S's. You can see there's a couple of wet spots down on the apexes, so the car's will have to be careful that they don't bring that out and, step out the rear as they're trying to get power down. Here we go, Jack Smith just starting to pull a bit of a gap here on Brendan Grove, but Nick Ross, this is where the battle's going to unfold, I think.
On board, Nick, always quick. Actually has the lap record here, set back in 2015 at 59.79, but hasn't quite been able to regenerate that same sort of pace over the last few seasons.
Yeah, talking with Nick, it is a bit of a puzzle for them. They're trying to work through it, but I'm sure if anyone can sort it, that Cambridge team will get on top of it. Nick's always one of the, as you say, one of the chargers. And speaking of charging, these two here in Group 2 are having a ding-dong battle.
18-year-old out of Inglewood, that's Pajeski against Ashwell, having a lot of fun.
We see here Jack Smith starting to catch up onto the back of the Class 2 cars, going to put them a lap down, so they're having their battle, so Jack's just going to have to be careful to step through here.
Lathrop on board with the Dale ITM Ford
Oh,
Falcon.
Brad.
Oh, he's riding onto the grass. He's doing a Chelsea. He's like a ride on there.
Yeah, no, he's out on the grass. It's just not going to be the favoured place to be, unfortunately. Just got a little bit out of shape. Here we go, getting out of shape a little bit, trying to go around the outside. There is Matt Prajetski around the southern loop. It's a pretty brave move to hold on out there. He's going to dive down the inside. Oh, I thought he was going to send it.
Out of Castrol, through the S's, keeps the flow on, keeps the push on, trying to force the mistake, driving in the rear view mirror, keeping the pressure on Ashwell, letting him know that he's right there, and one mistake, he will pounce.
This is certainly the fight for the race at the moment. We don't want to lose track of these two. They're putting on a ding-dong battle. Down into the final turn, deep under brakes. Oh, he's a little bit locked up in the rears, just stepped out, Ashwell. It's allowed Prajetski down the inside.
It's exactly what we talked about. Driving in the rear view mirror, forced the mistake, and Matt says, thanks very much. He's away.
Here we are on board. Oh, you can just hear the chatter of the rear wheels as he's locked up and just gone a little bit too deep and wide, and that's it.
And a lot of drivers do that going into and out of the GWD elbow at Teretonga as they now flash down the big, long straight past the control tower, past pit lane. Brenton Grove going a lot quicker this weekend. Did a major rebuild on that car after it hit the wall at Highlands Motorsport Park in round 3. But Brenton, he's got Bruce Price out from Australia this weekend. He seems to be on the case, although Nick Ross really trying to push in that battle between P2 and P3 at the moment.
Yeah, Brendan Grove in the rear just looks a little bit unstable, so perhaps it's using up too much of the tyres, but not using up his tyres at all is Jack Smith out front.
And look at that. That is the picture of stability. Current lap record, Nick Ross, a 59.791. We talked about that at the start of this race. Jack Smith turned it up, a 59.686. Lap record pace. He sets a new lap record here at Teretonga for the BNT V8's first time around the track. How good is that?
Yeah, he's putting on a show for sure. He's well and truly got his head around the circuit, and he's just gapping the field, so it's very impressive.
And just look how good that Holden looks settled. Coming out of Highlands last weekend, we talked about setup and stuff. You compare it to some of the other cars, that thing is really on the case. The team have done a superb job.
Yeah, he's certainly got that hooked up. Here we are on board again with Nick Ross as he's trying to hunt down Brendan Grove for that second position. Brendan just a little bit wide on the apexes, so you've got to think that he's struggling a little bit with setup or tyres. So is this the chance for Nick Ross to pounce at the last turn?
Last lap, last chance to dance going through the elbow. Here is the man on the move. 85, he makes it 4 races. Jack Smith takes the checkered flag to win the opening race of the weekend at Teretonga. Brenton Grove is going to hold on to take second. And Nick Ross, the way they started, the way they finished in P3. And Matt in 77, he'll be absolutely wrapped to take out the honours in Class 2. So there it is, a new lap record for Jack Smith on his way to his first win, his first race here at Teretonga in the opening race of the BNT V8's, followed by Brenton Grove and Nick Ross. Herbert, Wallace, Lathrop, Pajeski taking out the honours in Class 2. Big moment for Lance Hughes, but a great moment for Jack Smith.
Yeah, it was a lot drier than we thought it was going to be, actually. I mean, you watched the categories beforehand, and we were tossing up, slicks or wets, but it was most definitely slicks. It was dry as you could get. So it made it a little bit easier, and yeah, the car felt amazing, and we just pulled away and won the race, so it was good.
New lap record here at Teretonga for you now as well.
Yeah, I had just found out, which is it's nice to have, but the main thing is yeah, we won the race, and it extended that lead on the championship.
Good tussle with Justin there, trading the lead and everything. So no, it was good close race, and just at the end there, he made a little mistake going in the last corner, and I capitalised on it, and yeah, took the win, and can't complain about that at all. Huge thanks to Mum and Dad for being on the crew this weekend, and to my sponsors, Powerbuilt, Tricky Tree Specialists, and everyone. It's a massive feat coming down to the South Island for us, and to top it off with a win down here at our first time here is a huge feat.
Yes, motor racing really is a family affair, like the 51 team of Rob Wallace all the way from Teretonga with the family.
Look, I wouldn't be here without these guys, my beautiful partner Hannah and my father-in-law Ray. He's a pretty big sponsor on this car, and without them I wouldn't be here or doing as well as I am. So yeah, I'm damn grateful for these guys for helping us out and being here with me.
To go fast in motorsport, you've got to plan ahead. So the need for speed is also the need for logistics.
Our philosophy is if you got it, you don't need it. So, and proof was in the pudding last year. We didn't have a spare motor. We didn't take a spare motor. Consequently, we had to rebuild a motor mid-stride between Christchurch and Invercargill. We do have a spare motor this season moving forward. So yes, we take everything. We take spare motor, diffs, suspension packages, brake packages. This year we've even got a complete car boot on it. Only thing we don't have is the roof. Leasing the car out, we've gone a bit more professional. Chloe's taken on the role of coordinating everything, coordinating all the guys, organising where the guys need to be, what equipment we need. So she's taken that off my hands.
Well, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Working for Lance, I thought it was just going to be a bit on the side, and it turned into be quite a big role before the whole operation of coming down here. I love it. Yeah, they're a very good bunch of guys, and they just here for a good time, plus work hard all day long. I never realised how much went into it.
It's gone another level, having Jack on the second year round. The first year we sort of winged it, to be honest. This year we're actually putting a real big effort in to take that trophy home.
And all that planning ahead certainly paid off for the teams as they line up with some new look cars, a lot of rebuilds in between rounds for race 2 in the BNT V8's. Jack Smith, Brenton Grove, Nick Ross, the fastest three back at the top of the leaderboard for that group. Herbert, Wallace, Lathrope all showing some good pace this weekend. Great battle continuing between Justin and Matt. In Class 2, and Braden Phillips coming out of the Masters, getting some good seat time in the BNT V8s. Changeable conditions, rolling start, 16 laps, race 2, Teretonga, round 4. And it's that need for speed out in front. Who's going to dominate going into that southern loop for the second time?
Yeah, Brendan Grove's going to try and hold on the outside again, the opening lap. He's a long way up there, but looks like he's just going to have to drop back, or is he? No, he's going to hold the position. Is he going to send it down the inside here at Castro?
A little bit of a bump there.
Oh, just managed to pull across Jack Smith.
More aggro, more aggressive. Brenton Grove really trying to push Jack Smith. Cool, cloudy conditions and quite gusty too. Gale force winds around about 25k. Been a lot of windy conditions overnight, so changeable and variable. As you can see, the driver's working behind the wheel.
Yeah, on board here with Brendan Grove, you can see he's a little bit busy there at the wheel, so it's pretty tricky in these opening laps, but the tyres aren't up to temperature yet, so once that gets up to temperature, let's hope he can hang on to the back of Jack Smith.
You'll see the drivers move over and hug the inside line as they go down the pit lane along the main straight. So that means they've got the inside line going into the big loop, the southern sweeper. Anyone making a move has got to be forced to go around the outside.
It's also a bit of a local knowledge down here. If you hug that wall, you can avoid the windy conditions down the straight and gain a couple of kilometres an hour. So a bit of inside knowledge, but here we go. Back here with Brad Lathrope in the Dale ITM Falcon. He is looking very racy, so he's taking the battle up to Lance Hughes, Jack Smith's teammate.
At a moment in race 1, on board, 360 man, Rob Wallace out of Tauranga, and the number 51 Holden Commodore, the ex-Greg Murphy Super Tourer.
Yeah, he's admitting he's just trying to get up to speed with this car, and they're a small team, but they're certainly punching well above their weight. and he's only going to get faster and faster as he comes to grips with his car. A little bit of moisture there on the front windscreen, still kicking up from the cars ahead.
Yeah, challenging and changing conditions. That is really a learning curve for that 51 Holden Commodore.
Here we go, the battle pack here with Matt Tubbs trying to get a run on Brad Lathrop. Just feeding that inside line. He's going to go down the outside. It's deep under brakes. Is he going to be able to hold it?
Oh, then he sweeps into the loop. Good skills, Matt.
That's a brave move. He sent it, but here we go. Has he gone in too hot? He's just walking it out wide. It's allowed Brad Lathrop to get back up on the inside, but that would have to be one of the moves of the weekend to date.
And then he flows straight down into Castrol through the S's. Great part of the track here. It's got a great flow at Teretonga.
Here we go on board with Brad. He's going to be determined to return serve. Oh, Matt up ahead. He's just a little bit out of shape. Is that going to allow Brad to get the run on him here down into the final turn? He's got good drive. He's up nice and close.
Wonder if he's had the right nutrition this morning, Brad, or just too many nuts, making him go nuts.
Oh, here we go, out of the final turn, trying to get good drive through the gears. You can see there the throttle on the right-hand side. The drivers keep that flat to the floor. There's a shift cut on the gear stick there that allows them to pull the gears without lifting. So now we can see Wallace up and behind Brad Lathrop. So this is a great battle pack.
Matt Tubbs, the Jump Flex Holden Commodore, the big Ford Falcon, another Commodore as well. So even the places for 6, 7 and 8, it's a really good scrap going on here at Teretonga.
Yeah, these guys are getting faster and faster. It's only going to be a matter of time before they're up in that front battle pack fighting for podium positions. But at the moment, Matt Tubbs here, you've got to think he's maybe holding Lathrop up a little bit. He's certainly driving defensive down the inside. Brad's gone out wide, tried to get the run and the drive. He's up nice and close. Is he going to send it down to the final turn here, under brakes?
This is one of the great passing opportunities at the GWD elbow. Oh, he had him, but he pulled back.
Yeah, Tubbs went in awfully deep. He just got a little bit out of shape, but managed to pull it up. Now Lathrop right under the boot wing here. We jump back on board with Rob Wallace. He's got the ideal position. Is he going to be the benefactor of the front two tripping over each other? Down the long straight here, deep into brakes. The very high-speed approach here into the southern loop.
You've got to feather it to go fast, but not too fast as you come out and let it sweep over into Castrol.
Yeah, Matt using all of the road on exit there. Brad looking a little bit frustrated. You can only but think that he's got a little bit of car pace that he wants to get by.
And the weather, as you can see, gusting up to 40k, so it's good to be in a tin top today at Teretonga.
It's certainly good to have the roof over you. Again, Matt Tubbs running a very shallow line here.
And we're hearing out in front that Jack Smith's on lap record pace. He's already set a new lap record here, and he may be able to try and break that record in this lap again. Oh, he's broken. Matt Tubbs, he's cracked under pressure.
Yeah, that was a good example there of Brad Lathrop. Here we go on board. He's gone in deep. He's made Matt go a little bit deeper. There's no contact. That's purely just pressure. Nothing more, nothing less. So a great pass there by Brad Lathrop.
And we've seen that so many times as we take a look from on board Rob Wallace here at the elbow at Teretonga.
Yeah, you see Tubbs up ahead in the Holden, just locking the rear wheels and sliding off. So that's the accumulated pressure of Brad Lathrop causing that to happen. But back out front here, we can see Nick Ross.
Chelsea Herbert on the case here, really pushing Hughes. He's going a lot better in this race after his spin in race 1. Nick Ross, Hughes and Herbert for 3rd, 4th and 5th. The two Aussies cleared out in front.
Yeah, we heard Herbert talking about the confidence that she gained at the last round, and you can see that now growing at this meeting as well. She's showing a lot of pace in that Camry. Here we go on board with Chelsea, getting an exit out of the final turn. This long run down the front straight. See Nick Ross there driving down the inside. Lance Hughes having a look on the outside. Nick being a little bit defensive. But Chelsea here showing some good corner entry speed, making up some ground.
Brenton Grove going a lot better this weekend after the team really pulled that Camry apart. New Motor 2 for Chelsea Herbert. She's just waiting for these guys to make a mistake here, and she's going to try and pounce.
Yeah, it looks like she's driving a very calculated race there. She's got the pace through the S's to pull back up on the bunch. Maybe just lacking a little bit of speed down the straightaway, but certainly got the handling of that Camry well and truly sorted.
Lance Hughes in the Hamilton Asphalt's 84 Holden Commodore Smooth and fast in this race. Trying to force the mistake. Oh, look at that good defensive driving by Nick. He just moves straight over and says there's no way you're going to duck down the inside of the elbow here.
Yeah, Nick is renowned for being one of the toughest competitors to get past. But he's driving clean and fair, so Lance will have to go and regroup and try that again. He's shown his card that round, so we'll see whether he's got another move somewhere else. But at the moment, Chelsea there now starting to benefit from Lance getting held up. He's pulled back up into the back boot wing there of the Hamilton Asphalt's Holden.
Can he hold on? Nick Ross, Lance Hughes, can he force the mistake? Herbert, lurking. Good racing here. But this man, he's just set a new lap record. He's broken his one from the opening race of 59.276. Good skills, dead set. This man is super quick, and he's going to go 5 from 5. Brilliant performance by Jack Smith. You gotta love that sound. Brenton Grove gets the V8 Camry across the line for second. Nick Ross holds on for third. Good battle though with Hughes and Herbert. And Matt, yeah, all the way to the South Island and really enjoying his terrific weekend at Teretonga. Justin Ashwin on a bit of a flapping for the second race in a row. He's done a splitter. Actually borrowed one from the local man, Liam McDonald. But no one can stop Jack Smith at the moment, 5 from 5. The last 5 races in a row at the BNT V8's, followed by Grove and Ross. And Matt Pajewski dominating the battle for Class 2. So now the challenge is, can anything stop or anyone stop Jack Smith in the BNT V8's?
Yeah, touch wood. I don't want to say anything just yet because we've had some pretty good reliability this weekend and we're working on the car all the way through. My engineer's over from Australia this weekend, so together we're trying to chip away and get closer to Jack. I think we're making progress every race, but he's still got that little bit of edge. The car just seems to be a little bit more balanced and can carry a bit more speed.
Yeah, probably the last 4 laps when I sort of got right up on Nick. I looked in the mirror and Chelsea's right there, and I was now had to sort of worry about trying to get past Nick, which was bloody near impossible. And then also watching Chelsea because she was driving really well. I think the formula's working really well. Obviously, Jack's just steaming ahead, but that's obviously the calibre of driver he is from all the stuff he does in Australia as well. And obviously, you know, you see Brendan's getting right up there as well. So it's just got to get better and better.
The Elite Motorsport Academy has been running now for well over a decade, and pretty much all of our top drivers have gone through the Elite Motorsport Academy. You think of drivers such as Shane Van Gisbergen, Hayden Paddon, Brendan Hartley made it to Formula One, Mitch Evans, Simon Evans, all doing well overseas now. But this is where the crop of our current Elite Academy people end up. They come through some of our junior classes, the Formula Fords, the Toyota 86 series, and now they're in the NZ V8's, which is still a big noise, big class category.
you learn so much, and still now, you know, a few years later, I'm going back and looking at my academy folder and reading back through my notes, and it's just such valuable and current information. And yeah, I think coming out of that, it definitely made me a better driver.
These providers come from a range of different sporting backgrounds and are currently working with a lot of different sports at the moment as well, from High Performance Sport New Zealand through to the Highlanders and other sporting teams within Otago and internationally as well. So yeah, they're experts in their field, and it's great for the young athletes coming through the motorsport program to be able to use these people to draw on their expertise.
It really opened up my eyes into quite a few different areas I need to work on to get to where I want to get to, specifically the mental skills training and the psychological part of racing. And very thankfully through that I was able to get in touch with a sports psych who currently still helps me, and it's just incredible.
The Academy's opened my eyes up to a lot of things, especially how to be an elite athlete at the top of my level, and going forward, you know, having the Academy's backing and everything's really going to help me out and prove it to myself and a lot of people that I can make a career out of motorsport.
Yes, the Elite Motorsport Academy, recognised by the FIA, has been world-class. Sweet as we would say, down under. So it's Herbert, Ross, Grove, Smith, Wallace as they line up for the final showdown. Race 3, that's the grid, and the BNT V8's, and we'll see if some of those Academy drivers can actually take that learning curve and put it onto the racing curve for the final showdown under pressure. 20 laps, standing start. They're away clean. Grove got an absolute flyer. Nick Ross, he is quick. And look at Jack Smith straight away. What a bolter.
Yeah, Jack managing to get through, but Nick Ross out in front, down the inside, and it's great to see him get away here. So it'll be interesting to see whether he's made some adjustments on that Ultima and can hold that through the race. Here we go, Brad Lathrope back through the field. Rob Wallace.
Changeable, challenging conditions at Teretonga, cloudy, cool track, so it has been quick. Lap record speed this morning with Jack Smith breaking his lap record from race 1, doing a 59.272.
So he's certainly shown a clean pair of heels out on clean track, so let's see if he's got the ability to get round Nick Ross, who's renowned for being one of the most, how do we say, aggressively defensive drivers in the field.
Well, I think Lance Hughes said it brilliantly. It's the BNT V8, but he said he's B&I, bloody near impossible to get past.
Yeah, Nick's got a wealth of experience in tin tops and in the BNT V8s. So he's certainly going to make Jack Smith work for it. But there we go, on board, Brendan Grove down the inside. Chelsea Herbert, oh, she's taken the line. It was very close, but confidence that they weren't going to make contact, these teammates.
Showing her improved racing skills coming out of the academy. Shuts the door.
Yeah, that just shows the confidence that she's got to be able to hold her line there and not relinquish the position. And not relinquishing out front is Nick Ross there. He's still got Jack Smith right behind him.
Well, normally Jack Smith clears off, but of course we've got Nick Ross now. So now we've got a great-looking freight train of BNT V8's being led by Nick Ross. So he's making sure that Jack Smith doesn't clear away. And if you're going to pass me, mate, you're going to have to pick the right spot and work really hard.
Yeah, there we go, Nick. I thought he was going to go defensive there, but he's deep under brakes, but further back we can see Lance Hughes having a dive. Brendan Grove there rattling on the back of his teammate.
Oh, there is contact, Lance Hughes.
We saw that unfolding and then we cut away, but unfortunately it looks like now Lance has locked the rears and gone round.
Was that the Hughes and Tubb show again?
It certainly was. But out the front it's the Ultima, followed by the Holden, the two Camrys. There we go, Chelsea and Brendan Grove.
So we've got the two title contenders out in front, Ross and Smith, both picked up wins in the BNT V8s. Now we've got the two Camrys, the two teammates. Yeah, and the next two challenges coming through with Lathrope and co.
You've got to say that Chelsea's showing a great pair of heels in this race. She's right in the battle pack there and hanging onto the back of Jack Smith, who's now working hard all over the back of Nick Ross. And he's going to have to be careful because Chelsea's going to swoop in and be the benefactor here. So Chelsea sent it down the inside. Oh, I thought she was going to have a look.
Great shot, look at them, 5 in a row, heading into and out of the elbow. This is a great chance for Chelsea to sit right behind Jack Smith and Nick Ross and see what their racing lines are and see if she can be on that life in the fast lane, the learning curve.
Oh, absolutely, yes. There's nothing better than following your competitors when you're just trying to find that last little tenth of a second, and this will be unravelling a lot of mysteries for her. She'll be able to say, oh, that's where he's able to hold a little bit more corner speed on me. And look at her, she's right under the boot wing. So she's made over a couple of car lengths just round the southern loop that time.
Great racing. Third and final showdown of the weekend, 20-lapper. BNT V8's at Teretonga, and a terrific crowd here enjoying the action.
Yeah, here we are on board with Chelsea again. Just lost a little bit of ground through the S's. Jack Smith, he's all over the back of Nick Ross. This is the result of Nick going defensive. He's holding Jack up, and it's allowing Chelsea here to get right onto the back of the Holden.
Jack Smith's doing more crisscrosses than a game of checkers at the moment. He's trying to find a way around that big, wide, fat bum of a Nissan Altima.
Yeah, Nick there, he's just checking them up at the last turn. He's allowed to use the racing line, and he's just checking them up and getting good power down. You can see there the benefactor of it. He's gapped it and got good drive and a couple of car lengths.
Grove having a look, almost a bit of a sneaky sort of look down the inside as they sweep into that fantastic southern loop. Nick Ross knows, though, if he lets Jack Smith get through with that lap record speed that Smith's had this weekend, he is gone.
Yeah, but having all that speed in the world is nothing if you can't get around the car in front, and that's what he's struggling with at the moment. So let's just hope that doesn't boil over into an incident.
So now it's all about racing, picking your place, getting in the right position to make that pass and then pounce.
Again, Nick driving through the inside of the back hairpin there. Jack Smith trying to get the run down into the final turn, and Nick's aware of it, so he's gone down the inside defensive. Brendan Grove,
yes, had a look.
Oh, he's had a look on Chelsea.
Oh, a little bit of contact and buttoned off. Now Lathrope says you made a little mistake there, I'm ready to pounce.
Yeah, Brad's really showing good pace in this race. Here we are on board. Brendan showing a replay of that. Oh, he's awfully close. There was actually slight contact, so you can't get much closer than that and get away with it. A little bit of a brake bias adjustment going on there for the next lap. So here we are, into the southern loop once more. Come out the other side. Jack Smith trying to get a move on Nick Ross.
And Nick Ross, he's had real good speed here. Of course, he was the previous lap record holder, but for some reason, as we talked about, not quite as quick as he has been in previous season, and the team is sort of coming down here, scratching their heads.
Yeah, scratching their heads at the moment. Jack Smith, he's wondering where is he going to be able to pull off a move on Nick. He's right in the boot wing this time, but you've got to think Nick's going to go defensive. Jack's down the outside. He's going to go the long way.
You want to avoid getting a touch, though, because you never know what could happen if they touch and tangle.
So here we go. Another run down the long straight. Jack's a lot closer this time on Nick Ross, so is he going to get the slipstream down the outside, perhaps into the southern loop? Brendan Grove down the inside here of Chelsea. He's going to send it deep under brakes this time. Been able to pull that move off. He's looked for a few laps.
That's good racing there. They gave each other racing room and a lot of respect. No use, trying to take out your teammate just because they made a quick pass, and you've got to allow them to actually make that chance and then try and return the move.
Yeah, but Chelsea's been there on merit. She's shown good pace this race to be there. So it'll be interesting to see if she can put one back on Brendan. But trying to put a move on is Jack Smith. He's getting a little bit restless. He's made contact.
Couple of little wide. He's run wide. That was a lack of pace. Oh, no, that's why he's run wide. He's broken a wheel.
Yeah, look, that wasn't the side that made contact with Nick, so you've got to think that's an isolated incident. The hub there looks like it's let go. Here we go. This will show on the outside. The wheel's
it's just gone there.
The wheel has already failed, and that's what caused him to go into the back of Nick Ross. So great effort there from Jack Smith to keep it keep it away from Nick, and that could have ended in tears.
A hairy moment in the hairpin. And that's it for the weekend for Jack Smith. Well, we thought the only thing that could stop him from winning this race was a mechanical failure, and that's exactly what's happened. So that's real bad luck for the series leader, but for the other drivers, they'll be saying, finally, we have a chance to win a race, because this guy has been dead set unstoppable.
Yeah, that's a shame, because it was a great battle out front, but unfortunately there's not enough time to fix that upright. We can see there one of the front wishbones or something has let go. It's a pretty high load corner, high load side of the car at this track, but back out in front now, Nick Ross. He's had to deal with Jack Smith for the opening few laps, and now he's got Brendan Grove all over his back.
So from one Aussie to another.
Oh, he sent it down the inside. Oh, not quite there, but he's made contact.
So suddenly it's still a three-way battle, and Lathrope lurking in fourth. Now, that car of Jack Smith's been unbreakable, so it's going to be interesting to see how it comes back once they get it fixed for the next round coming up at Mansfield.
Yeah, the team here are trying to make a repair to maybe get out and qualify for a finish and get some valuable points.
I tell you what, these other guys out in front, they are going quick. Not quite the same lap record speed of Jack Smith, but they're all on the 60-second mark. Grove really pushing Nick Ross hard there, but he's doing the 60s as well, so fantastic racing. What a battle for the lead.
Yeah, to get this much excitement at the end of the weekend with the tyre life just about at its end, it's a great show. So here we go, Brendan Grove. Is he going to get a run on Nick Ross this time? He's shown him the lap before what his intentions were. There he goes, down the inside. Oh, there's contact. He's gone in extremely deep. Nick Ross now has been able to get the switchback on him exiting. Here we go on board, Brendan. Late dive, he sent it, made contact. Oh, unfortunately, just understeered a little bit there from the outside. Oh.
That's why they call it the elbow.
He certainly used the elbows and a bit of a fist in there, I think.
He just stretched the elbows out there and pushed the Nissan away.
Yeah, but Nick there was able to get the drive out of the final turn, make the switchback, and there he is back in front. But, you know, great move on Brendan to give it a go. Never going to die wondering. He wanted to send it.
Last lap, great race. They've had the Dunlop wets, the Dunlop slicks. One of the reasons why the Aussies love coming over here is because they use the same Dunlop tyre that they use in the Dunlop Super 2 Racing Series back in Australia. So they cross the ditch, race on the same rubber, and then go back again and get a whole stack of seat time around terrific tracks here in New Zealand, and real wheel-to-wheel great racing. Ross, Grove, Herbert, Lathrope. Down to the line, it's going to be a drag race. Nick Ross, can he get another win and finally break the drought? Yes, he can, and that's been a total team effort by the racers out at Cambridge. And Chelsea Herbert, what a great drive in the other Camry. Brad Lathrope, he's a happy chappy. So Nick Ross, 007, gets the win. Finally, someone gets a win outside of Jack Smith. How's this? Matt Projeski hasn't even finished the race, and he's going off big time behind the wheel to win the round in Class 2. That's what it means to him, even though he's further back down the field. First time down on the South Island, Teretonga. And Mighty Matt gets the job done. 2.62 kilometres. That's the way to do it when you come to the Dig South. So Ross breaks the winning sequence of 5 in a row for Jack Smith with that broken wheel. Grove back on race pace with another second place. He'll take the round win, actually, and Chelsea Herbert gets on the podium. And that change in fortunes for Jack Smith means a change in the championship. The biggest change, it's Quick Nick, who takes the checkered flag.
Yeah, hey, we've been struggling since we arrived in the South Island, and to get the win in the last one, we had to fight for it. We haven't had a fast car all weekend, so we had to fight for it and just make the car as wide as possible. It's only going to get better from here. Hey, these young fellas, they keep you on your toes, and they just get better and better every time they get in the car.
Finally, we got the monkey off the back. We got a round win. Would have been nice to have a race win, but I think actually Nick's going to maybe get a penalty for a jump start or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's starting to come together. We had the pace. The car's getting nicer, so we're taking some good momentum into Mansfield. Yeah, for sure. We all raced hard. We all put everything on the line in the last race, and come back. Car's got a few scratches on it, but yeah, it's all good. So hopefully Nick gets a penalty and we get the race win. I got to go back to the Bathurst 12 hour and I do some testing with 888 for a Super 2 program, so I'll be driving all the way through. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to take this momentum through to Mansfield and have a good round and try and get some more points back after the early setbacks we had this year.
That was the intentions, for the South Island, was to try and get the double clean sweep, but, we came away for clean sweep here after not even seeing the track on Friday, and I can't thank Mum and Dad enough for everything they've done this weekend.
And despite his DNF in the last race, Jack Smith still has a handy lead in the BNT V8's, and also after 5 wins in a row, takes out the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy, so that's a fantastic honour. Close between Justin and Matt in Class 2, and as we head to Mansfield in a couple of weeks' time, we'll leave you with the last word.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Herbert, and I've got the last word for the round 4 of the BNT V8's. This weekend was really great for us. I got my first podium in race 3. And all weekend we've been getting quicker and quicker. So we look forward to round 5 at Mansfield in a couple of weeks.